All right, for this scenario, I'm planning a night VFR cross-country flight from Cheyenne, Wyoming, which is KCYS, to Rapid City, South Dakota, KRAP. The straight line distance is approximately 190 nautical miles, which puts this pretty solidly into a longer night VFR leg, especially in relatively rural and sparsely populated terrain. So starting with the route, the direct course takes me northeast across eastern Wyoming and western South Dakota. One known factor is that this route includes large areas with limited ground lighting and few prominent visual references, which that will increase the risk of spatial disorientation at night since you don't have anything solid to put your brain in the right place. So an unknown is the exact availability of emergency landing options along the route if something were to go wrong, so I would plan to probably remain within gliding distance of highways where possible and identify alternate airways and airports along the route before departure. For this trip, since it's a night VFR cross-country, I have a planned departure time around 9 p.m. local, which is shortly after sunset. I know that both departure and destination airports are currently operating VFR, and forecasts indicate VFR conditions for most of the night as well. However, the TAF for KRAP does include vicinity thunderstorms and showers overnight, which definitely adds an extra element of uncertainty. While storms are not forecasted directly over the airport at my ETA, convection at night can be harder to visually identify, so this is an area I would monitor closely through in-flight weather updates. So looking at the pilot element, I have about 380 hours total time and 125 hours of cross-country experience. Current and flying regularly, which is definitely a positive factor. However, I've never flown to South Dakota before, so unfamiliarity with the terrain and airports at night is definitely a risk. I would mitigate this by conducting a very thorough pre-flight briefing, reviewing airport diagrams, and setting conservative personal minimums for regards to weather and fuel minimums as well. So for the aircraft that I'm flying, I'm going to be taking a Cessna 172S equipped with the G1000 avionics. This aircraft is up to date on maintenance and just recently had an oil change, which reduces mechanical risk. So some known positives include modern avionics, GPS navigation, and reliable performance, as well as an autopilot. An unknown is how well night lighting systems, such as the panel and exterior lights, will perform for an extended night leg. So I would want to verify all lighting during the pre-flight and just be prepared for partial panel scenarios. The environment presents several important considerations. While night flying reduces heat and density altitude concerns, it introduces reduced visual cues and increased reliance on instruments. The moon won't be rising until early morning, meaning the flight will be conducted in very dark conditions. Weather is currently VFR, but the presence of vicinity thunderstorms in the KRAP forecast is a key unknown that could require diverting or delaying arrival. Finally, external pressures are pretty significant. This is a bucket list trip to see Mount Rushmore with a close friend, and we both have been looking forward to it all summer. This creates a subtle pressure to make it work, and I would acknowledge this pressure and mitigate it by clearly establishing ahead of time that diverting, delaying, or canceling is an acceptable outcome if the conditions deteriorate. So in conclusion, while this flight is legal and feasible, it carries elevated risk due to night operations, limited visual references, and potential convective weather. My plan, though, would be to manage that risk through conservative decision-making, continuous weather monitoring, identified alternates, and a firm willingness to say no if conditions change.